Hi, Sally-Shakti. Welcome to Tarot and Astrology for Visionary Writers for the week of Monday the 3rd to Sunday the 9th of April 2023. And I hope you're well. We are really in the midst of some very strong energy signatures at the moment, at this time. One that I'm feeling very strongly right now, which is only passing through, is this moon in Virgo as I record this today. And that strong energy of perfectionism, of getting it right, of attending to the details. I feel like I have been moving through treacle this morning. It's taken me a lot longer to get things started than I would have hoped or than I expected. I noticed myself checking the details, starting things again. This is the 4th time I've started this video. And that's a really strong moon in Virgo, and really close to full. This waxing moon in Virgo is really showing up for me in terms of how I get things done. And as visionary writers and creatives, that can be a very strong pull back towards our perfectionism, which is a form of procrastination, which is a form of fear. And that can be very detrimental to our creative energy moving forward. So just be aware if you are feeling that at the moment. It will pass. The moon moves very quickly through the constellations and the signs. But just be aware of yourself and check yourself if you are feeling that. Is it something that needs to be got right or made better immediately? Or can you take a few action steps and move forward anyway? Because I think for me personally, it always feels better to be able to do that. So just check in with yourself there with this moon in Virgo today, which is Monday, Tuesday this week. And then the moon moves into Libra really for most of the rest of the week until heading into the weekend. And that's where we're going to have this very strong full moon signature, the full moon in Libra, which is the main thing that I'm really going to talk about in today's video. This energy for me is already showing up very strongly. It has a very strong energy signature that is an echo of the spring equinox, the Aries equinox energy signature. And I want to elaborate on what I'm feeling in relation to this full moon. Any full moon is the opposition, the celestial opposition between the sun and the moon. And we've had what in this instance is the first full moon in Aries. We're moving now, we're halfway between the first and the second new moon, in Aries, of this year, of this cycle. It's unusual to have 2 new moons in the same sign, one after the other like that. So that's already a strong signature. We had one new moon in the 1st degree of Aries right after the Aries equinox, when the sun obviously also entered and was in the 1st degree of Aries. Now the moon has traveled to the midpoint of the zodiac and is halfway around as it's on its way to return to create another new moon in Aries, conjunct the sun in the last degree of Aries. This is a really, really strong Aries energy signature showing up for us in Aries season this month. Aries season itself starts and ends with an Aries new moon, with a conjunction between the sun and the moon in Aries. And what we also have in play is Jupiter and Chiron in those conjunction energies as well, which is showing up with a really strong energy signature. Now, the energy of the Aries equinox, also with the Libra equinox at the other half of the year, is the energy of balance. It's the energy of rebalancing. We have the equal day and night, and we have that moment of equilibrium before then pivoting one way or the other more into the light or more into the dark. And I must say, here in the Northern Hemisphere in the UK, in the British Isles, the sun is really rapidly pacing it. I think it's already rising now at least half an hour earlier than it was this time last week when the clocks changed, which kind of made everything confusing again. But we're already getting back towards the sun rising nearer to 6 a.m., which is what time it was rising before the clocks changed. It's moving really fast, and I know the sun doesn't move; we move around it, but this we also know that's how it appears to us. So that energy signature of the equinoxes is still very strong for me as we move from the Aries equinox, the Aries new moon, towards this Libra new moon. We're still very much in the energy of rebalancing. Now, the Libra full moon, sorry. The energy of a full moon, as I said, is always the energy of opposition between the moon and the sun. Sometimes this can be the energy of manifestation, culmination. The seeds you planted, the seeds you sow at the new moon grow and rise to fruition, and you can be experiencing the manifestation of your intentions at the full moon. What I feel also shows up as often as not is the manifestation of where we still need to shift some things around. So what I'm thinking is this tension, this opposition creates a tension between the sun and the moon. It's an illumination point. The moon now is at its fullest, at its brightest. Those seeds we planted at the new moon not only are coming through to fruition and manifestation, but also to illumination. And so where are we on our journey from new moon to the next new moon, which in this case is both in Aries? Where are we on our journey of manifestation? And what often gets illuminated, for me, feels quite challenging. There's quite a tension there because it's not only and always this very rapid manifestation of, oh yes, I planted these seeds at the new moon and now I've got everything I want at the full moon. It's the illumination of that tension. Where are the challenge points in our lives that are being shown up for us to move through so that we can come into alignment with the intentions that we've set and what it is we want to manifest? When we're thinking about intention setting or manifestation, it's really about bringing ourselves into alignment to be able to receive what is already for us. If we have had the intention for it and if it's in alignment with us, then the work to do really is to uncover the layers and the blocks of what has been preventing us from being in alignment with receiving this new thing that we are now intending and envisioning. And that often for me is what tends to show up most strongly at the full moon. We've set these intentions at the new moon. They've begun to grow. They have begun to grow and they're coming to fruition. But with their fruition, what they're also showing us is what is still out of alignment. Where can we bring ourselves into greater alignment to really fully open up to receive what it is that we're envisioning and calling in? And this is really strong energy for me right now. I'm feeling between these two Aries new moons, we have this Libra full moon. Libra is the energy of balance and equilibrium, and it's illuminating for us. As I said earlier, I think for me, this full moon carries a very strong energy signature that feels very similar to the Aries equinox. At that time, on that day, I felt extremely frustrated. I was extremely aware of the areas of my life that were not in balance, and intentions that I set towards what I want to fall in are now showing up for me as in, hey, here's this thing that's still out of balance for you. This is what needs to be course corrected so that we can move closer towards being open to receive and being in alignment with what is truly meant for us, what is truly meant for me. It's not any kind of punishment or chiding or you've got it wrong or oh no, this is I used to feel like this, I set these intentions at the new moon. Why does it feel so uncomfortable at the full moon is because it's showing us, it's illuminating the shadows. It's illuminating where we still can bring ourselves more into balance to fully receive what is there for us, what we are co-creating. But it wants to show us what are the beliefs, behaviors, and habits and patterns that are still that we're still manifesting in our lives that are actually blocking us from moving forward into our new intention and our new vision. And as visionary writers and creatives, especially around this strong and powerful Aries new moon energy, we might feel the fire of really wanting to manifest, to bring our projects into fruition, to bring our writing into the world, to create. We also, of course, have this strong energy of Saturn in Pisces, which is going to be with us for the next 3 years as we learn more and more how to co-create with spirit and how to bring our visions into form in service of the collective and in service of collective evolution, which is Pisces. And we're being called into that now with these 2 strong Aries new moons, this strong energy of initiation. What is it that we are desiring to manifest? Aries is also about desire. And, you know, our creative passion, our creative purpose often ignites that creative fire. It's something we long for. It's something we desire to be doing and to do and to show up with. But often it's also the thing or one of the things that we tend most often to deny ourselves. The more passionate we feel about it, the less we feel we deserve it. And that's a big energy of self-worth. That's a Taurus energy that we've got coming up, because another big energy that we're in is that we're now at the turning point between the eclipses. We've got one last Taurus eclipse to come in October this year before those moon's nodes settle and we move fully into this alignment of Aries and Libra, because the first eclipse of the season starts later this month on the 20th, I think it's the 20th of April, with this second Aries new moon. This takes us into a new eclipse energy, a new eclipse season, a new eclipse axis with Aries, between Aries and Libra. But we are going to push back into Taurus one more time. So we've still got this last piece of work to do around self-worth later this year. How are we prioritizing our creative needs and our creative patterns and our creative desires? If you came in to this life with a purpose and a passion, I'm going to say it that is also a need for you. That is a strong need for you to be co-creating with spirit and for you to be bringing your unique creative fire into form in service of the collective evolution and in service of the whole. It's not just the desire, it's not just the passion, it's certainly not just the luxury, it's a need. It's why we're here and it's what we're here for. And so many of us have not had and still do not have access to be able to fully manifest our creative vision because of the various different oppressions and limiting structures and structural oppressions and structural inequalities in this world, especially around money, how we earn our money, how we make our money, what we do with our money, how much it costs us to do the basic, really, I want to say God-given, even not in a religious context, but the basic things that we I do not believe should have to pay for: living, eating, drinking. I was meditating on water this morning. Water flows freely on this planet for all, if only we could access it. If only we could access clean, clear, free flowing, high vibrational, beautifully calibrated water. It's there, it flows for us. And yet there are structures in place around the world that separate people from this basic and fundamental right and need. And our creative passion is equally a right and a need that we are in the process really at this time of fighting for, of bringing into form, because we know that we need to. And so whatever it takes, small steps at a time, we're bringing our creative visions into form. And there's a lot of astrological and celestial support for us to be doing this at this time. And this is why I'm here, really supporting us, supporting me in my practice and supporting you in yours, to really bring forward and bring through what it is we are here to create. It's been too long that we haven't been able to. And so really these messages for you are, and for me, are to strengthen that commitment and strengthen our intention, and to also guide us along the way, because these energy signatures that show up are challenging a lot of the time and very intense. And so to have compassion for ourselves with what we can and can't do in any given moment or time. That was a lot. Okay, so some more energies that are coming through for me with this full moon. There's a strong tension in this energy, because the moon is not only opposing the sun this time, the moon is opposing that stellium of Sun, Jupiter, and Chiron, all in Aries. This is a huge energy of opposition, and again, very much around the strong illumination and expansion from the Sun and from Jupiter on our core wounding, our core wounds. And what is it that we are still working with to enable us to bring our creative gifts and passions forward? My Chiron is in Taurus and has been activated by these various eclipses over the last few years, and with Uranus in Taurus squaring Saturn recently as well. But again, that shows me, and it's right at the end of my 10th house, which is my work and how I show up in the world through my passions and through my purpose. And that's where the core wound is for me. How do I value my self-worth? How do I value my passion, my purpose, my creativity, and put that into power and purpose for the way that I'm showing up and for in service of the collective evolution? That's a core wound for me. It's taken me many, many years to be able to come as far as I have and be able to be committed to my own practice and start to share some of this, some of the guidance that I've gathered and that I receive intuitively with you. So we've got this strong tension that's illuminating our core wounding. Where is your Chiron? What is being illuminated and expanded for you in your birth chart with this full moon? Because that's definitely going to be a part of what's showing up around any tensions or habits about that are, these habitual patterns of behavior that we have that actually keep us in our old alignment, but that we need, or that we might feel ready, or we might be being called to let go and move forward so that we can align ourselves more fully with the new frequencies that are coming in and coming through for us. Very much strongly feeling that since the Aries equinox. And I know people also have been experiencing a lot with the solar flares. There's a lot of new light codes and energies and frequencies coming in for us. And how are we going to, again, this is a Taurus thing, I think, for me, with my Chiron in Taurus. How are we going to embody that? And how are we going to ground that? How are we going to ground the new light that's coming through for us? And how are we then going to transmute it and bring it through in our creative visions? And this, I can't stress enough, is what we're here for. It's why we're here now. And it's time to move forward with that, whatever small or large steps we can take towards that in our lives in the ways that we can. Libra is also going to show up in our relationships. two opposing questions come to my mind. Are we cultivating our creativity? As in, are we taking enough time for ourselves to cultivate our creativity and share that with others? And then also, are we nurturing our connections? Are we taking enough time with other people to be able to relax and enjoy and experience some play and connection and support in our lives, in our relationships? So those are two kind of opposing questions that come up with this Libra full moon for me. So I'll bring a tarot card in for our reading this week, and then I want to leave you with some inquiries for this Libra full moon that's coming up this week. Some journaling inquiries for you. So let's see who's coming in. I've got this beautiful new tarot deck, which I picked up in Glastonbury last weekend, called the Tarot of the Sorceress by Berenguer de Moncy. And the messages for each card in the book as well are absolutely beautifully intricate. I know some decks are not, and some decks have really beautifully well crafted and well woven messages. Ooh, who's coming through? All right, this is the Knight of Water. Oh, look at that! Isn't that beautiful? So in this deck, the Knight is the ultimate card in each suit, in each energy element, and the Knight, like night sky, is the energies of the three astrological constellations of that element. So the Knight of Water combines the energies of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You can see them there. All right, let me tune in for a moment. What is this giving us? Because actually we've got a lot of fire energy in Aries, and we've got this strong oppositional air energy in Libra. So that's a very masculine set of energies that we're in this week with the full moon in Libra. What we've got here is these very feminine, nurturing, loving energies of the Knight of Water and the three constellations of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So what I see with this card is the connection. The first thing I see is the connection between the female figure and the horse. And there is a loving bond there. There is nurturing. For me, the horse, well, all of the Knight cards have a horse because of the mode of transport that's represented by the Knight. But in this card, they're in a nurturing bond. And I would say that the horse in this card could be our spirit, could be our own soul, the way that our soul gives us direction and insight and carries us along. It could be our spirit guide. It could be very physical. It could be our material relationships with our loved ones and with others, as is the Libra energy that comes through. And of course, we have the three constellations of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, which ask us of three different ways of finding nourishment and nurture and loving connection. Cancer is very much about finding that relationship of self-love, self-care, tending to our inner child. Scorpio then asks us to be in relationship with others through devotion and through also very much around our sexual energy and our sexual expression. Pisces then moves that energy out to the cosmos, the ether, the the spirit beyond. So our invitation this week, whilst we're in this very strong fire and air, masculine energy, and these strong oppositions that are bringing up the healing and the realignment that we've called in order to move us towards what we are intending, what we are manifesting. We have another strong opportunity to set those new intentions, or to reset and strengthen those intentions when the Aries New Moon comes again at the end of this month. But this week we're being asked to stay in loving connection, to stay in loving relationship, and to stay as far as possible in a more feminine energy, in a feminine flow of receptivity as we move through these very strong masculine astrological energies. We're being gifted this invitation and this support from tarot to allow ourselves to step back into an energy of receptivity, into an energy of flow, and to nourish, nurture, and support ourselves in whichever ways we can. Whether that's tending to our inner child, whether that's tending to our relationship with others, or whether that's tending to our relationship with spirit, or a combination of all three. That's our invitation and our support through these strong energies of tension and opposition as we reorient ourselves and realign ourselves towards our desired goals and manifestation. Can we also stay in the receptive, in the softness, in the invitation to nourish and to nurture, and to open ourselves to guidance from spirit as we move through this challenging and this challenging energy of tension and opposition, building towards this Libra full moon on Thursday, the 6th of April. So I just want to complete with 3 journaling inquiries that you might like to sit down with sometime this week as we move into those full moon energies, and to take some time to just be present with yourself in this practice. And so those inquiries are: where do I feel in alignment in my life? Where do I feel in alignment in my life? The second one: what are the new intentions I am calling in? What are the new intentions I am calling in? And the third one is: how can I rebalance any tensions between what I am creating and my old patterns of behaviour that no longer serve? So how can I rebalance any tensions between what I am creating and my old patterns of behaviour that no longer serve? So I hope those 3 inquiries really kind of build on what I've been speaking to here in this video today, and give you an opportunity to get into those questions for yourself. And I do recommend spending 3 to 5 minutes on each of these inquiries, up to 15 minutes in total, to really give yourself an opportunity to go deep as you explore what's coming through for you in this energy of the Libra full moon this week. So thank you so much for being here with me. I'm sending you so much love. If you would like to connect, come find me on Facebook or Instagram at Writing Thriving. I do offer one-to-one coaching for visionary writers looking to create your next book or project in the world. I also offer support for taking those first steps towards integrating a regular writing practice into your life to move you forward as part of your personal transformation and towards the writing project that you are here to bring it to birth in this world. So yeah, come find me. I'm at Writing Thriving, and I would love to hear from you, and I would love to help you. I would love to support you to bring your visionary writing project into the world this year at this time. Sending you lots of love.